You know, it's been a while since we've made a video about the Detroit Red Wings with all the conversations going on about the draft, about Matvei Michkov, about the Habs and everybody else. I feel like my tertiary favorite team has been kind of left in the dark. Now, that's not to say the Wings don't have any relevant topics, it's just all the discourse about big NHL conversations has revolved around guys going from team to team, big free agent players like Dubois and other prospects like Matvei Michkov being on the move. But either way, today what I wanted to do was go over to the Wings and talk about some guys that might not be a part of this organization anymore. Players that are set to becoming UFA'S and that the Red Wings might or might not have given contract offers to, only to either be rejected or to have just not received an offer. Let's head over onto an article on Detroit Hockey Now published by Bob Duff from 2 days ago. The Wings are unlikely to sign any of their UFA'S. The team sought to keep Chiasson and Pius Suter, but they were rebuffed. Now, before we go over and read some of the piece, let's go over to the Rings and their cap-friendly situation. The Rings? Did I say the Rings? Yeah, no, this ain't any Japanese horror movie from the 90s. The Detroit Red Wings have themselves a few UFA'S, and going down the list, we see they go as follows. Alex Chiasson. Okay, 32 years old, we know his story. If you don't, then we could talk about that a little bit later as the video goes on. Erne is a player on this team, UFA. Pius Suter as well. Robert Haig, Jordan Osterley, Magnus Hellberg, Mark Pysyk, and if you scroll all the way down to their farm team goaltenders, or not farm team, but non-roster goalies, Alex Nedeljkovic is there too. So this is a good crop of guys. Some players the Wings would need to re-sign if they wanted to remain competitive. They've got $30 million in cap space, so there definitely is an opportunity to keep some of these guys around. But as this Detroit Hockey Now article goes out there and discusses, that might not be the case with any of these players. So, if you scroll down to Bob Duff's latest piece, by the way, the link is going to be in the description if you want to go ahead and read most of this yourself. According to an NHL source, the Wings were making contract offers to just two of their impending UFA'S. However, both Pius Suter and Alex Chiasson were opting to pass on the offers presented to them by the Detroit Brass. Pius Suter was offered a one-year pact to play a third season in Detroit. However, the veteran forward wants to see if he can get a multi-year deal on the open market. Pius Suter, by the way, is a pretty all-right forward based off of what he's done so far in the NHL. 3 seasons played between Chicago, Detroit, and I mean, he's a middle six forward. He's gotten 14 goals every single year he's played, and that includes the 2 seasons he had with the Wings. We know in the past he had some very good chemistry with guys like Tyler Bertuzzi and Robbie Fabry. That's kind of why I was on the train of wanting Suter to come to the Red Wings in the first place. But, of course, we know that these guys aren't here anymore, unfortunately. At least Bertuzzi is and Fabry's still here, but for Pius Suter, he definitely is a solid enough middle six type of guy to want to keep around and have on your roster. He definitely is talented. It's just, if he himself is looking for more security than a one-year deal like the Red Wings were offering him, that's his prerogative. That's totally fine, and for a guy who's already, how old is Pius Suter? He's 27 years old already. There's definitely reason for that to be the case here. It's just if the Wings are not interested in offering him something beyond a year, then it makes sense for their own rebuild plans because Pius Suter is not going to be the most important piece, unfortunately. And because of what we had seen at the trade deadline, trading away Hronek, trading away Bertuzzi, we know this Wings team is not ready yet to be a contender. We know Yzerman is not setting them up to do that so soon. There still is a little bit more developing that needs to get done. And so for Pius Suter, it's understandable to see why he's not a part of that heading into the next 2 years rather than being kept around for just 1. Meanwhile, you have yourselves Alex Chiasson, who really has himself his own situation here. Take a look at this. Alex Chiasson went unsigned during last summer's UFA period. Ultimately, he was left to accept an AHL deal with the Grand Rapids Griffins, Detroit's top farm club. Signed by Detroit and recalled following the NHL trade deadline, Chiasson would deliver instant net front presence on the Wings' power play. He had scored 6 goals in 20 games, 5 of which were tallied while Detroit was enjoying a man-power advantage. And yeah, Alex Chiasson does that, baby. He's 32 years old, he's a big right-handed guy. Had 9 points in 20 games played with the Red Wings this season, and this pattern of his was one that a lot of Canucks fans got used to when Chiasson was here in Vancouver. He would be oddly productive on the power play but never anywhere else. Not strictly because of his net front play, but because he also just came alive for some reason. He would always be in the right place to receive a pass and pot in an open puck into the cage. It was always really interesting seeing how productive Chiasson would be on the man advantage, and that pattern was there in Detroit too. So it's understandable to see why the Wings would have wanted to sign Chiasson to a short, one-year deal, whatever, just kind of keep him around in the bottom six. The offer to Chiasson was a one-year, two-way deal. Again, according to the NHL source, Chiasson's camp wants to see if he can secure a full NHL contract from another club by entering into the UFA fray on July 1st. And so it's good that Chiasson is looking out for himself. He wants to get a full one-year deal with a team that is going to use him in the NHL the entire time. One way also means that he's guaranteed the money, right? Two-way deal means he gets paid different amounts in the NHL and the AHL, and he doesn't want that because the difference between NHL and AHL salary is pretty big. So understandable from Chiasson's point of view, understandable from Pius Suter's point of view too, why he would want to go into the free agent market. As for Detroit's other UFAs, goalies Alex Nedeljkovic and Magnus Hellberg, defensemen Jordan Osterley, Robert Haig, Mark Pysyk, and forward Adam Erne, the NHL source that talked to Detroit Hockey Now indicated that none of these players had received an offer from the Red Wings to date. Now, that was as of 2 days ago. We don't know how things have changed. Let's go on to the Red Wings subreddit and see if anything is new here. Are Red Wings, is there any sort of a signing we have seen? Nope, there is not. So all these guys are still UFAs and they need contracts. It's going to be difficult for Alex Nedeljkovic, man. Honestly, like seeing that guy leave after the big ruckus that everybody made in the first place when the Wings signed him, that was kind of crazy now, don't you agree? Remember when the Wings got Nedeljkovic from the Carolina Hurricanes and he was this really good goalie in the playoffs and people were saying, oh yeah, like he's going to go over to Detroit and he's going to be the next bright young stud. And then he posted up an .895 save percentage this season in the NHL and a .912 in the AHL, which is pretty good, admittedly. It's just, the guy is now 27 years old. Talking about goalies of the future here, it's really not trending in a positive way for Nedeljkovic, so seeing the Wings not want to re-sign him, unfortunately, that third-round pick that they sent over to Carolina in the first place is starting to look like something that they could see more value out of. I mean, I guess Jonathan Bernier was there too, but, you know, Bernier wasn't going to come back. That was such a crazy time, and it was 3 years ago, whenever it was. Let's look that up. When was the trade? Okay, July 23rd, 2021, so just 2 years ago, Nedeljkovic was traded over to the Wings, and everybody thought he would be the best thing since sliced bread, and now he is likely on his way out. So that's unfortunate to see, but of course for all these UFAs, for Nedeljkovic, for Chiasson, for Adam Erne, Osterley, you've got Pius Suter, of course we all wish for the best heading into the next few years. It's just kind of unfortunate that their careers as Wings were not able to continue either from their own volition or from Stevie Y's. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about all these guys not getting contract offers, how some of these guys did get contract offers, but they rejected them flat out because they wanted more security. Can you fault these guys? Did you like what they had to bring over to the Red Wings in their limited times in Detroit? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.